Doctor Kofi Boateng.
Yes.
Take over the microphone, please.
Okay. This is the electronic virtual microphone, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to talk about ROPAA. Catherine has talked about PAM. But where we are is all thanks to PAM. And that means that in 2017, PAM pulled together the funds, found a lawyer, and took the Electoral Commission and the Ministry of Justice to court in Accra. And the former or ex, may he rest in peace, Judge Anthony Yeboah found in our favor that the Electoral Commission had been deliberate. That's very, very important word. Deliberate in denying us our right to be registered and to vote as spelled out in Ghana's Constitution, Article 42. It's that simple. Therefore, now remember the judgment was 2017. Therefore, the judge ruled that in 2020, the Electoral Commission should make us include Ghanaians living abroad, GLAs, to vote. But you all know what happened. The Electoral Commission claims they came to the US, some of you may remember. They came to Virginia, to New York, they went to Ohio, they went to Worcester to get ideas from us in preparation for us voting in the 2020 elections. And they drafted a constitutional instrument, CI, and what that constitutional instrument does is simply spell out where people will vote, how you determine who is a Ghanaian, how you register them, how you get the results back to Ghana. So they claim that they drafted all of that. We never saw a copy. And later on, we talked with Catherine and I talked with the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, current Speaker, Honorable Bagbin, and he claimed he never saw a copy, but the Electoral Commission claimed they did it. But be that as it may, 2020 there was COVID, so that gave them an excuse that because of COVID they couldn't conduct overseas voting. But PAM took a very strong position that if GLAs were not going to vote, then the people working in the embassies who had always voted were also not going to vote in 2020, just so they can feel the pressure. And that happened. 2020 was the first year that Ghanaians working in the missions, the ambassadors and all those guys and girls did not vote in Ghana's elections, thanks to the pressure from PAN. So here we are inching towards 2024. And where are we? In short, the Electoral Commission, I was with the Deputy Electoral Commission, Bosman Asare, Dr. Bosman Asare, just in March, this past March, and he promises us that they will draft another CI and that this time, 2024, barring no COVID-23, we will vote. And they have taken the position that Ghanaians living abroad everywhere will have the access to vote. Of course, we are still waiting for the details on how they identify who is a Ghanaian and where we will vote, i.e., be they embassies, high school, we find our own places, whatever. All of those things are what we are waiting for from the constitutional instrument. On March 31st, 2023, just a few weeks ago, PAM created a coalition with two other organizations, one of them known to us, a new one called Global Diaspora Council, and our old friends at ROPAA ambassadors. And we came together to draft a letter to Dr. Bosman Asare, which I know has since been delivered to him. And Jermaine Nkrumah has, I think, written a little article with it. Basically, all that it is just reinforcing what Pam has always been saying, that Ghanaians are coming together and we are all pushing that we should vote in 2024. And the coalition is growing. Today, I saw a letter from Ghana Diaspora Coalition that is also joining us. So that will be spreading as we go along. But we have to keep that pressure up. Soon I will start every opportunity I get to get back on writing articles and talking to the EC folks and getting us there. And I know our friends at ROPAA ambassadors are doing same. I know that anytime Francis gets to a chance to be in Ghana, he presses them. Okay. Questions, comments, anyone? Augustine, you have anything? You've been paying attention for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm okay with the statement you made that Bossman says this time it's going to happen.
Yes.
But the only thing that needs to be straightened out is, as you said, you don't yet know the form of identification that they are going to use, whether it to be the Ghana card solely or whether a passport, a Ghana passport, and whatever. I think the drive now will be to urge every Ghanaian that anytime they go home, they should try to get the Ghana card so that when the time comes, they cannot be denied registration. And
That's
secondly,
a very, very good advice, Augustine. Very good advice. And I can't emphasize this any more than that. We shouldn't wait. The national ID people always keep saying that they are coming abroad to register us for Ghana card. But you know Ghana, they say they are coming March, then it becomes May, then it becomes June, then it becomes, well, subject to IMF loan. If we don't get the IMF loan, then we can't travel, and on and on and on. So if you get the chance while you are in Ghana, please register for and get your Ghana card. Very good point.
Okay, Doc, a question somebody asked few days ago, that if you are American citizen and you did your Ghana card, that might affect your citizenship.
No, there's no such thing. And this question keeps coming up. Let's clarify this dual citizenship and US and Europeans and all of that. Yes, most of us, including myself, are dual citizens. And we fought for that. That didn't just come. If we go back a little bit, the Ghana Constitution, the 1992 Constitution that we're still using to run the country, specifically denied us and took away our citizenship if we took the citizenship of another country. Okay, that's in Ghana's constitution. And then when Kufuor was running for president, we pushed him and said, when you become president, first thing we want to see is to introduce a dual citizenship amendment to that. And they did. The Citizenship Act 2020 allowed us to hold dual citizenships. Okay. The only thing, there are two other things in the Dual Citizenship Act of 2000 that we don't like, and there have been fights led by Professor Kwakwasare or Kwakwaza. One is that that act limits us in terms of what we can do and actually prohibits us from holding 13 specific positions. And unfortunately, that act also says that we cannot become MPs, members of parliament, and certainly run for president. And we don't want that. Now, later on, and this happened, maybe about a couple of years ago, Kwakwasare, in one of his suits with the Ghana Supreme Court, made an argument that it is discriminatory for Ghana government to require that dual citizenship hold the dual citizenship certificate. Those of you who got it, you know what I'm talking about. While Ghanaians in Ghana don't carry such a thing. And the Supreme Court agreed and basically made a pronouncement that if you're a Ghanaian, you're a Ghanaian, and it doesn't matter whether you take some other country's citizenship, which argument actually is in line with Nigerian constitution, Cape Verde constitution, Greece constitution, and a few progressive constitutions around the world. Ghana was late, and it's still late, okay? Because Ghana didn't even make that formal announcement, the government, and that is the current government, NPP government under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, never made a formal announcement that this very important thing has happened. Because what it means is that all of a sudden, if you hold any nationality passport, yes, you don't need to get the Ghana dual citizenship card. You can go straight and get a Ghana passport. And let me repeat that. Whether you are an American citizen holding an American passport, British, holding British passport, German, Chinese, what have you, you can, so long as you're a Ghanaian and you trace your roots through your grandparents to Ghana or one of your grandparents to Ghana, then you can go straight, bypass dual citizenship and apply for and be granted Ghana passport. A lot of us, Catherine, myself, Francis, have tested this, and we all hold Ghana passport, and it's not illegal or deceiving anybody. That is the new law. So once you hold the Ghana passport, what Augustine raised, then you can use that to apply for your Ghana national ID. That's it. And then whatever way the CI comes, if the CI comes out and it says they are going to use current Ghana passport for identification, you are good. If they say they are going to use the national ID for identification, you are good. So our message is that people should not wait. People should not eliminate themselves because they hold American passports. There's no such thing. There's no limitation under the new constitutional rule. With or without American passport, British passport, anything, you can apply for Ghana passport. You will be given. And when the moment is right for you, whether you are in Ghana or the national ID people come to the US or Britain or wherever, you can get a national ID. I hope this clarifies things. And you don't break any host country law. Because, and here is something, those of you who hold American passports, if you open it, you will see that there's a little line in your passport that says original nationality, and it will say Ghana, meaning even the US giving you the US passport recognizes that you have another country. So if they themselves recognize and put it in your American passport, then how can they say you've done something illegal? You can't stop being a Ghanaian just because you take an American passport. They recognize that and write that in your passport. If anybody has American passport close by, open it and confirm what I just said. I hope that answers this question that keeps coming up. Anything else?
Yeah, can I add to what you just said? Using myself, I was in Ghana last year, July, August. And I was able to renew my Ghana passport that had expired about 20 years ago. And I just showed my American passport, which they demanded to see. The only difference was that I wasn't using a house name in my American passport, which was in my old Ghana passport. So they only asked me to go and swear an affidavit to take that house name out. And I got a passport and I got my Ghana card. So me, I'm set to go.
So what Augustine just said is precisely it. So let's break it apart. Let's uncompact that. Number one, he had US passport. 2, he went to Ghana to apply for Ghana passport. He was not denied except for change of name and what have you. He was given his Ghana passport even after the Ghana people saw his American passport. They still, under the new law, had to give him a Ghana passport, so he had it. And from there, he applied for his national ID and he was granted. And everybody can do the exact same thing.
Thank you, Dr. Kofi Boateng. Those who are late, now we are open for questioning about ROPAA and citizenship, dual citizenship. Also, to add to what Doctor said, that now the Ghana embassies are encouraging parents to have a Ghana passport for their children. Doctor, can you stress on that for us?
Children, yes. Remember, to show your Ghanaian citizenship, by Ghana's constitution, you need to show that you at least one of your grandparents is Ghanaian, all right? Okay. So let's take Augustine. Say Augustine, when he went to apply for his Ghana passport, he had to answer that question. And he had to tell them the village where his, at least one of his grandparents were from, their name and that sort of thing. Okay, and then also his own parents' names. He had to give that information. Now, once Augustine got his, Augustine's children can then go after him. Augustine is now certified Ghanaian. He holds a Ghana passport. So the children can also go cite Augustine's passport number if they are underage, and they'll be granted their Ghana passport. If they are not underage, then they also have to go through the same thing, state their grandparents' name, Augustine's name as the father, and they will also be entitled to their passport. Augustine, can you say something to that process?
No, you've stated it clearly. I don't think I have anything else to add to that.
Okay.
That is just the law as it exists now. The only problem we always face is the situation in Ghana that people don't seem to know the law and its application. I will give you this, after the Supreme Court decision on Professor Asare's case in May 2012, I wrote to the Ministry of Interior in my personal capacity to ask them if they had access to the decision and how they were going to implement the content of the decision. I had no response. After 2 months, I called the Ministry of Interior and I was handed over to the PRO. And the PRO stated clearly that the ministry was not even aware of that judgment.
That's a fact.
So we took the conversation further, and then they handed me over to a director at the ministry. And he said they will start work on it. Up to today, I've not heard anything again. And then I took the embassy in Washington to tax about 2 years ago, or at least a year ago, on this nationality certificate issue in view of the decision in that case. And they claim that, well, the decision not to continue it has to come from Ghana. And I think that edge finally for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to come out with a pronouncement that if you want it, you can get it. If you don't want it, you can skip it. That is the attitude of the people in Ghana. Ministries that you expect to be aware of certain things seem not to be aware, or they don't just simply put there.
And something that we should also be sensitive to. Somebody asked the question, how long does the process of acquiring the Ghana passport take in the US? When I applied for mine, I think the whole thing from beginning to end was maybe a month and a half. If you have an emergency, they can do it for you within 2 weeks. If you are not under any emergency, start now, so that within no more than 2 months you will have it. And while you are doing it, get your wife. If your wife is not Ghanaian but you are married to her, she can also qualify to get Ghana citizenship. Or certainly your children, all your children, your biological children can also qualify and get them all. If you're doing it, do all of them at the same time. And don't go and apply for the dual citizenship. The dual citizenship is dead, even though we fought hard for it, but it was the path to get to where we are, which is better. The point that Augustine was making, one of the things that we know is that the consulates and embassies of Ghana, they are self-financed locally. Ghana government doesn't bring them money. It's from the monies they get from visas, issuing visas that form their budget. Therefore, when they see that the bulk of us are no longer coming to apply for visas to go to Ghana, that's a lot of money they are losing. And this is why you will never hear them taking the lead to tell you that all of you can now come and get your passports. They will wish everybody would stay in ignorance, believe that if you have a US citizenship, you cannot get Ghana passport or even the dual citizenship, and keep getting visas, paying for visas so they make money. And it's unfortunate, but that's what is going on.
Okay, to add to the passport duration, how you can get it, you can also pay for express, and within 3 days, you'll be able to have your passport if you pay for expedite. So that's another route that you can take, those who take it long. Okay, so doctor, now, I know where we are heading, but can you tell our viewers and listeners where we are now? Next year is election year in Ghana, and we are demanding to. So please, can you guide us or tell us the steps we are taking to get to that point?
Okay, so Ghana elections are in December. So hopefully in December 2024, we will be voting. We would like to we have to beat the drums to get as many Ghanaians living abroad as possible to vote. Then we can actually change the outcome of the results if it turns out to be close, as everybody's projecting this one is going to be. So it's going to, our role is going to be very, very, very important, and then they'll begin to take it seriously. So our hope is that by going by what they did for 2020, by June of 2024, I wish they would do it in 2023, but latest by June 20, they will have the CI. Now, here's how the CI works. The Electoral Commission drafts the CI, which has all the details about documentation, location, and what have you. They will draft it, they will send it to the Attorney General's office for them to check the law, and normally it's a rubber stamp thing. Then the Attorney General's office forwards it to Parliament. And then Parliament officially adopts, they read the CI into their business. The business officer brings it so that it's acknowledged formally by Parliament that they received it. From that formal point of receipt, acknowledgement, then the days count. When they reach 21, after 21 days, then the CI automatically becomes law, meaning whatever is written in there that for 2024, Ghanaians living abroad are going to vote, and in order to vote, you have to demonstrate you are Ghanaian, and the document that you would need to prove such the following, blah, 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 blah. You vote at the nearest Ghana consulate or mission, and on and on and on. Okay. Returning officers will be sent from Ghana. All those details will be in the CI. And then we are good to go. But if you notice, now I'm saying by June 2024 only because our people don't know how to do things early and don't know how to let everybody understand something with enough time. It's always last minute, and that's just the nature of Ghana and Ghanaians for that matter. So what it means is we have an idea of what is going to be by following what is going on in Ghana. You know, for example, that the Electoral Commission put a CI for the domestic district elections in Parliament, where they were proposing that they would use the only the Ghana national ID as a means of issuing people voter cards. And the NDC part of the government kicked it out, that they also want them to use affidavits. We can talk about why affidavits feature so much in Ghana politics, that both sides seem to want that included. If you ask me, we can discuss it. But the lesson there is that whatever is going to happen in Ghana is what's going to happen abroad. If they say they're only going to use affidavits in Ghana, then they'll use only use Ghana card only in Ghana, then they'll use only Ghana card abroad. If they say they'll use Ghana passport and Ghana ID, then they'll use Ghana passport and Ghana ID here. If they say they'll use Ghana ID, Ghana passport, and affidavits, then they'll use those three. So we watch those debates carefully to get an idea of how ours is also going to be. And when I met with Bossman in March, that's exactly what he said to me, that whatever they do in Ghana is what they'll do with us. Anything else?
Anybody have a question on this now before we move to the next one? Then we try to end by 5. Anybody? Welcome, Mr. Oraofori. Welcome, Kwabna Frimpong, Samuel Ejay, Miss Stephanie Arthur, Richard Alaji, Francis Ado, and Mr. Augustine and iPhone. Doctor, now we know we expect, like, we know that June is late. Oh, okay. Mr. Richard, your hand is up. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kimama, and greetings to everybody on the line. I heard Dr. Propon talking about a CI. I need some clarification. The one that was recently discussed in Parliament, and both aisles were asking about the guarantor system and probably some other documentations. That is the domestic one, just as you mentioned. Perhaps, are we expecting a different CI that will be exclusively for those of us in the diaspora?
Good question, Richard.
Yeah.
Good question. But here is the answer. That is that in terms of logistics, yes. The answer is yes. There will be a separate CI because they have to officially say that they are going to do overseas voting for all Ghanaians, not just those working at the embassies. Okay, when all these years they were only limiting it to those working at the embassy, they never had a separate CI for voting, overseas voting. Now they are going to do that. So what is it going to be? What it's going to be is that it is going to shadow the Ghana CI. So the one you were referring to, once that they make their way through it, through Parliament, they fight and all that, and they come to a final one, sooner or later they have to come to a final one. And then we are going to pay attention. We are going to get copies of that and know that ours is going to follow exactly that. So somebody is asking a question about the affidavit and why they are fighting over it and all that. And you also intimated that would we also, let's say the affidavit stays, and I can tell you from the political side that it will stay. Is it also going to affect them? My answer is yes, and I explain. The affidavit, the intent of the affidavit is that if somebody doesn't have a Ghana passport, somebody doesn't have a voter ID because they don't have their birth certificate, which happens to a lot of people in Ghana for whatever reasons, then some uncles, some aunts, some grandma, some old town person in the village can come and say, oh, I know this person. I was there when they were born. They are bona fide Ghanaians. I know their mother, their dada. That's the affidavit. And the electoral people are instructed to take that oath. Basically, somebody is swearing an oath on your behalf that you are Ghanaian. And then even without a birth certificate. So, and then you are allowed to vote. And they do it as the line is going. It's not like you have to do it 10 days before voting or anything like that. As people are in the line, people come and say, oh, don't worry. Now, why are the political parties fighting over this to have it included? The reason why is that, let's say legally you have to be 18 and over to vote. Okay, so if somebody is 14 years old, the political parties sneak this person in without a birth certificate. Even if they have a birth certificate, they don't bring that. And they say, oh, I know this person. They were born 20 years ago. They just look small. But I know their mother, their father, and and they sign off and let that person vote. Obviously, the person bringing them is in one party, and they are going to tell that child to vote for their party. This is what has been going on for years. So this is the one time that I supported the Electoral Commission. The reason why the Electoral Commission was insisting on using the Ghana card was that the Ghana card states your age. So there will be no more of that. They pushed the burden to the National ID Authority for them to verify ages and all that. And once they verify you, the Electoral Commission says we will take it from there. But of course, the politics is beating them. Now, how does this affect us? It will affect us in this way. If they allow affidavit, then it means that if somebody is in the line and they don't have their Ghana passport or national ID, then Augustine, Catherine, Kwame, Francis, Oral, you, Richard, can go in and say, oh, yeah. I know this man when he came from Ghana, and he's been my buddy in the Bronx forever and ever and ever. He's a Ghanaian. I'll vouch for him. Let him vote. And they have to allow that person to vote. So that's how it will operate on our end. Not so much us using minors to vote, but the politicians one more time pushing their people here to use others who may not be Ghanaians to vote. And so, I wish that the Electoral Commission could fight harder and get through with the Ghana ID so that we can get away from this guarantor and affidavit system completely. So that's what all of that is about.
I have Miss Stephanie hands up. I will spotlight Miss Stephanie. Go ahead with your question, please. Miss Stephanie, your hands up. Unmute yourself. Steph, is your hand up by mistake? Or maybe by mistake. Okay. Okay. Now that we are about to wrap up, anybody else with a question? But this very important area. So, closing to June next year, as we are estimating, and we
I'm sorry, Catherine. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hit the mute. I do have a question. Can I
go ahead.
ask? I'm sorry. So thank you for all of the information. The question is, what if they say that they're only going to use the Ghana card as a means of voting? What I've seen is that there's this increasing trend of Ghanaians abroad in the US or wherever getting Ghana cards when they go in December and they come back here and we have Ghana cards. How does that, or they have Ghana cards, how does that affect their ability to vote? Will they still be able to go to the consulate because they have the Ghana card? They may not have the Ghana passport, but if the Ghana card is what's being used, can they go to the consulate and vote as well?
Oh, certainly. Before you get the Ghana card, you have to show that you're Ghanaian. So the fact that the national Ghana, the ID people have given you a Ghana card, I mean, they have verified that you are Ghanaian. So case closed. Whether it was issued in Accra, Tamale, Bolga, or wherever, you have a Ghana card. And it will be the same Ghana card as your colleagues who get theirs in Washington, D.C. or New York. It will be the same thing. So Ghana card is Ghana card. And when the voting comes and the polls open in New York or DC or wherever they say we should go and vote, everybody holding a Ghana card is good to go. And you wouldn't even need your Ghana passport. So again, we are back to the CI. If the CI says that to prove that you're a Ghanaian, if I were writing it, okay, it would be something like, to prove that you're a Ghanaian, you must show either one of the following: a Ghana ID, 2, or a current Ghana passport. Case closed. Now, based on how this affidavit business settles, then they may go a third. They may have a third one that may say, or somebody to swear an affidavit for you. It will be either 1, 2, or 3, or combination of those 3 things. And I see that Richard was saying that he would suggest that the current CI should include GLAs. I agree 100%, and I have proposed that to the Electoral Commission. And their answer, and I agree with them, the answer is that tactically, since they know that overseas voting polarizes those parties and not all of them are in favor, they don't want to combine them. They want to get through with this one, get the template, and then bring ours. I mean, ours is law, so it cannot be changed, but they don't want too much fight on their hand. I mean, look at this little affidavit thing and how much they are fighting. Imagine if ROPAA was also in, and then they won't go anywhere. So let's follow what they are doing, and they have assured us that once this goes through, it will be the template and make ours go through faster. So instead of June, if this goes through quicker and we put pressure on the EC, then we may get lucky and our CR may be done in 2023. And then,
Doctor, sorry, Doctor, I know your time is, so I'm trying to squeeze everybody in to say
yes.
something.
Yeah,
Mr.
let's allow
Frimpong.
some 15 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Frimpong. Pabna Frimpong. Please unmute yourself. I see your hand up. Mr. Frimpong, are you there? Okay.
Well,
good.
thank you very much. I appreciate you, accommodating us, sir. I have an experience myself, formerly as a French national, and if you were to vote in a French embassy, your name should be there, and you should register at the French embassy, whether you have the passport or not. In our case, I'm not sure if all of us are registered, in our various high commissions or embassies around the world. Unfortunately, when they started the Ghana card, I remember this gentleman came here in Canada and said they were going to go to all the embassies and register us. That was pre-COVID. Up until this time, they haven't started even in one single country in the diaspora. How is this going to help us if we are going to be able to vote? Thank you.
And I agree with you because I followed that, and I know that it was the director of the national ID himself who went around making those statements that we are coming to register. And currently, they had said that they were coming in March. Kimama, you remember that when the Consul General in New York actually came on one of our forums and said that oh, in March they will be here. Of course, March has come and gone, and nobody has heard anything. And this is our constant problem. So, Mr. Richard, your issue about trying to combine the two, here's where the rubber hits the road. So, in our case, when we get to a certain point where they know that it is not possible to issue Ghana cards, then they have to go back and just limit us to Ghana card or Ghana passport. You follow what I'm saying? And this is why we've been saying that everybody should start the process of getting their Ghana passport. Because if we get to that point where we know the national ID folks have not come around, gone anywhere, as Mr. Frimpong was just saying, then it's not our fault, but we have to vote. They can't use that as a reason why we shouldn't vote. So we would just defer to Ghana passport.
Yeah, you see,
we are keenly watching that, keenly. And
yeah,
that's why our CI will be different. Yes, please.
Yeah, can I come in?
Mr. Richard, make it short so.
Yeah, sure. What I'm foreseeing, and then looking at the economic environment in Ghana now, we all are part of the issues that is facing the country regarding our finances, funding, and all that. So that's a challenge for the government and, for that matter, these institutions, the National Identification Authority, as well as the EC. We're wondering where the money is going to come from. So that is a challenge. Again, talking about a different CI for those abroad, perhaps we don't have the time. And then the Ghana card, which were promised the last time we had a forum like this, like you rightly pointed out, we were told by the first quarter of this year. They haven't started anything. So for me, a time will come when again they will appear, the courts will invite them, and when they appear, they will be like they are not ready, and that will be the excuses we'll keep getting from them. And so we should be envisaging something like that. The same situation will be going around a circle.
Yes, they can, right now they can never say they are not ready because don't forget that ROPAA law was passed way back in 2006. Okay, 2006 ROPAA law, 17 years. So, and the court, Honorable, His Lordship, late Yeboah, acknowledged this fact in 2017 that this law was passed 13 years ago at that time. So, how much more time do you need to be ready? If you've had a law on the books that say you must do something and you've been sitting with it for 13 years. So I'm not ready is out of the window. One way or the other, it is going to happen. And that is the reason why we are doing everything we can to put pressure on them. As right now, the excuse is that they want to get the domestic CI out of the way. Fine, because we are also interested in that. As soon as then they don't have an excuse, not any excuse not to start working on our CI immediately. And as Bossman explains it to me, at least, that our CI is not going to require any long writing. It will just simply take what Parliament has seen and just substitute overseas voting, this, and that, and it will go through. And as Honorable Babin explained to Catherine and myself, Parliament cannot change ROPAA or the CI because they would need 2/3 of Parliament to change anything, and that's not going to happen. In fact, the current CI, they haven't changed it. Parliament has not changed it because they haven't gotten 2/3. They are just making noise. So if the Electoral Commission is strong, they can just stand firm, but they may also decide to just tinker with different things and tweak things. Okay, so excuses, no. We are not ready, no. Money, well, we should all know this, that more than 40%, close to 60% of Ghana's election have always been funded by donations from abroad. 2020 was the first time that Ghana claimed that it funded its own elections, but that happened only because of COVID. The donors were not, everybody was broke around the world and nobody was giving money to anybody. Everybody had their own problems to solve. But come 2024, now that Ghana is officially declared bankrupt almost and broke, the donor countries will step in and put in the money to make sure that true democracy takes place. So cost is not a problem, excuse is not allowed.
Okay, so doctor, based on that, cost is not a problem, excuse is not allowed. Progressive Alliance Movement, we are on standby with the community. What is our next move? Litigation, doctor? We go back to the court?
That will come only when we get to, let's say, July, August 2024, and there's no CI and there's no indication that we are going to be included, then yes, we will rally all of you, get your contributions, and immediately go to court. This time, it will be placing an injunction that if we don't vote, then nobody, and not just Ghanaians is working in the missions, nobody in Ghana votes, meaning if we don't vote in 2024, there will be no elections in Ghana in 2024. And Catherine, I'm glad you asked that question because we have to start saying it and let that word begin to seep through the system. Let people hear it that, look, we are willing to cooperate, work with them as we are doing right now, but we are not ready to be walked over. And if we don't vote, nobody will vote. And
Thank
we
you.
will get an injunction.
Yeah, thank you. I think Mr. Augustine will be the last questionnaire so we can come to closing. Mr. Augustine, please take over the mic.
Okay, Dr. Boateng, I want to bring this issue to your attention. You know, if the CI in Parliament passes, then it will allow continuous registration in Ghana.
Yes.
Assume I go to Ghana and I go and register in my district, but I live here. How will my registration be transferred to the US? I think you need to start alerting the EC to the possibilities that people living abroad could register in Ghana so that they can put their mind to how those those registrations could be transferred to wherever they live outside the country when the time comes for voting.
Okay. Now, this question is really not unique to us. I could live in Babiani in Ghana as my hometown and live in Kumasi and register in both places. And the question is, can I vote twice? Go to Babiani to vote. I'll be in the voter register and rush back to Kumasi to also vote. I'm sure people have tried to do those things. And the reason why in Ghana and in most countries, for that matter, voting is done in one day is precisely that, to avoid the chances of people being able to move about. And it will be the same thing here. If you are registered in Babiani and also in New York, and the voting is all happening on one day, well, you try to do that, you can't. And it's a fail-safe system. I'm not saying some people cannot beat it. I'm sure others have. The one that they know that they've been beaten is the registration of minors. That's the one that the Electoral Commission acknowledges that the political parties, all of them, are using to beat their system. But thankfully, we wouldn't have that problem here. And ours will be the cleanest that they will get.
Okay, that's a wonderful forum today.
Yes.
And I think everybody is satisfied with the answers that they get from Dr. Kofi Boateng, the Progressive Alliance Movement chairman. On behalf of the Progressive Alliance Movement, once again, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us here. The fight is not over. Until Ghanaians living abroad are able to vote, we will continue to fight. And Progressive Alliance Movement, PAM for short, cannot do it alone. We need everybody, every entities, organization, association, religious entities to come and join force with the Progressive Alliance Movement to move this mission or goal forward. Please visit our website, www.palmfire.org, www.palmfire.org. You can also donate to us, and like, kakra, few, or manage. So thank you all very much. And please, when you see the YouTube video, share to everyone, those who are busy and couldn't make it to the Zoom meeting. Hopefully, 2 or 3 months, we will come back with another forum, or whenever that we get an update, we will come back to you. Doctor, please come to your closing remarks. Then
You've said it all. Thank everyone for coming. Stay on top of things and get the word out.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. We'll see you very soon. And don't forget to register, www.palmfire.org. Have a good night and wonderful
done. Excellent
weekend.
meeting. Excellent meeting.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.